Relocating or moving to another city can be super overwhelming. Now, in today's video, we're going to talk about the 10 steps to making it way easier to making your move right here to the Niagara region. But first, if you're new to my channel, what's up, guys? My name is Andrew Kulakowsky, and I'm a local real estate agent and team leader with the Living in Niagara Real Estate Group at eXp Realty. Now, my team helps hundreds of people just like you buy and sell real estate here, and we absolutely love it. So if that is you and you guys are thinking about making that move anytime soon, whether it be tomorrow or in 2 years, then make sure you guys do one thing and reach out to us. We love to hear from you if you're thinking of making that move. So as previously discussed, in today's video, we're going to talk about the 10 steps to making your relocation to the Niagara region way easier. Now let's dive into it. Starting with number 1 is do your research on the neighborhoods. Now, this is one of the most important things that I recommend anybody do before anything is do your research. Now, naturally, the first thing you're probably doing and why you've landed on my channel is you've gone to the Google machine, you've typed into the Google search bar, best neighborhoods in this city. Now, that obviously is your very first step. Now, when researching neighborhoods, I highly recommend connecting with our team here in Niagara. Now, we create hundreds of videos to cater to people like yourselves doing research on making sure they choose the best neighborhood possible for their family. If you guys want to learn more about the specific neighborhoods here in Niagara, then make sure to check out our playlist. We do in-studio videos and talk about neighborhoods as well. We get our boots on the ground and we get into these neighborhoods and show you all the benefits, the disadvantages, the pros, the cons, and show you what it's really like to live in those specific areas. Now, one of the things we always encourage in the early stages of doing your research is reach out to us and schedule a Zoom call or a phone call. That initial call is very important, regardless of what stage you're in. We can further talk about your game plan. We can discuss your needs, wants, and then further talk about the types of neighborhoods that are going to suit your lifestyle. Number 2 is determining what stage of the buying cycle you are in. Now, this may seem pretty self-explanatory, but you'd be surprised how many people reach out and they're a little bit confused on what stage they're actually in the process of buying a home. Now, this is okay. This is what we encourage. We encourage you to reach out to us so we can help you with that thought process. Now, one of the most important questions you have to ask yourself is, what is your motivation? Now, some people may be searching neighborhoods just for the fun of it because they're maybe thinking about making a move 2 years down the road, and that's totally fine. Or perhaps maybe you're getting a job transfer, or heck, maybe you just want to relocate and get out of a city or get out of the place you're currently living because you've heard that living in Niagara might be a great place to live. But regardless of what stage you're at, we here at the Living in Niagara Real Estate team have our finger on the pulse at all times. And again, encourage you to reach out so we can chat further about that. And number 3 is get help. Now, obviously, this again is pretty self-explanatory, but you'd be surprised how many people are trying to do this process on their own, and it can be extremely inefficient and painstaking. Trying to research neighborhoods when you haven't even been to a city or a town or a region is merely impossible sometimes. And connecting with people like myself, our real estate team, we're here and dedicated to make sure you get the clearest picture possible to help you make that smooth transition. Now, with price changes and market conditions drastically changing at all times, the real estate market, although has a macro environment to it, there's still a significant microclimate to the real estate market. And what's happening here in Niagara may be different than what's happening in your city or town where you live. Now, I get this all the time. I have people reach out and ask about house prices and what's happening in the market, and if house prices are negotiable, or what type of market we're in, whether it be a seller's market or a buyer's market. And I find a lot of the time it is different than what they may be experiencing where they actually live. Obviously, our goal is to be your #1 resource when it comes to making your relocation here to Niagara. So if that means providing you the resources possible when it comes to researching different schools, jobs, amenities, local economy, or whatever the case may be, Those are the things that we're here to help you with. And number 4 is making sure you get your financing in check. Now, obviously this doesn't pertain to everybody, as some people that are purchasing a house may not be doing any financing whatsoever. However, in many, many cases, most people are doing some form of financing when buying a new house. Now, you'd be surprised. Many people who reach out are not ready for this yet. They haven't reached out to their bank, or they haven't connected with the mortgage broker to fully get a true picture of where they stand financially when it comes to buying another house. With our mortgage broker connections that we have here in the Niagara region, we have really good mortgage partners or mortgage brokers that we can connect you with regardless of your location. And number 5 is determining your budget. The perfect transition from making sure your financing is in check. Once that is completed, then determining your budget is extremely important. Most people aren't savvy enough financially to understand what their actual budget is. Now, determining what your actual budget is the gateway to figuring out your blueprint. Now, I will mention that budgets can change as you start to explore and research the different neighborhoods, the different types of homes that are available in the various areas here in Niagara. It's not uncommon that people actually change their budgets, whether that means increasing their pricing or decreasing their pricing. This does happen all the time. Now, our goal with discussing different prices in the Niagara region, because we have our finger on the pulse, is to help you understand and paint a much more clear picture of what you're actually going to get for the money. Now, before we move on, guys, if you're liking this video so far, please do me a huge favor, hit like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you guys will be notified every time I post up videos just like this one. It's greatly appreciated. Now, moving on to number 6 is, do you need to sell? Obviously, if you need to sell when relocating to another area, this adds another layer to the mix. Now, depending what type of market you're actually living in, understanding whether it's important or crucial to sell first or buy first is a very, very important question. Now, one thing I always recommend, if you're not working with a realtor in your immediate area where you live or have no connections for any realtors, the one great thing that we offer here at eXp Realty is that we're located in 24 countries and have over 90,000 agents with our boots on the ground. We refer local agents all the time to help people make that smooth transition. Having those open lines of communication when it comes to selling your home and transitioning into another area. Sometimes you could be only an hour away, or sometimes you could be hours away, depending on where you're located. And having those referral partners with their boots on the ground helping our clients is extremely important and beneficial to you. And number 7, again, pretty self-explanatory, but you'd be surprised how many people mix this up in their buying or selling process, is planning for the move. Now, obviously, there are a lot of moving parts when it comes to planning your move, from logistics to figuring out your work transfers, different schools, and all of the above. Also, not to mention that finding the right movers, whether they be movers from your area or movers from our area, we're here to help with those resources. Additionally, determining your exact timelines. From packing tips, I always recommend starting early in the process. You can never be too far ahead in the process. And another important thing is making sure that you're aligning your closing dates properly. Again, this takes really competent agents. If you have 2 agents in the mix helping you buy and sell, making sure that your closing dates align with your timelines is extremely important. And number 8 is legal support. Obviously, here in Ontario or Canada, we have to use a lawyer when it comes to purchasing or selling any type of real estate. Now, some people choose to work with a lawyer in their immediate marketplace, or if you are buying and moving to a new location, some people prefer to use a local lawyer from that area to stem a new relationship because they may want to use them again in the future. Now, again, I've mentioned this before, we have great lawyers and partners that we work with here in the Niagara region. So if you're making that transition and you want to work with a local lawyer, then we highly recommend just let us know and we'd be happy to help you with that referral. And number 9 is explore the city and settle in. Obviously, there's a lot when making that initial move. So take your time, enjoy the city, take time to drive around the various locations, explore your new stomping grounds, and explore what Niagara has to offer. Remember, our goal is to help make that transition as smooth as possible, and starting the process off early and helping you create that blueprint and that roadmap is going to make it even easier to transition. Number 10 is getting involved in the community. Now, I recommend joining different sporting events if you're into sports, joining local clubs, going to local events from festivals, visiting wineries, going to different restaurants, going to the beaches in the summertime, going to parks, hiking, and enjoy what Niagara has to offer because we have so much here to take advantage of. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are your 10 steps to making it easy when relocating here to the Niagara region. If you have any questions or need to reach out for any reason, please make sure to call, text, email, schedule a Zoom call, or send us a DM. But remember, we've got your back when making that move here to the Niagara region. Bye for now.